I understand we have already started late, so we've got about 40 minutes. We are going to discuss the entire part around the infrastructure for LNG, for gas, and how it is going to dovetail into overall government's plan, how overall vision for energy security to make India more Atmanirbhar. So infrastructure plays one of the most important role. Around that, we'll have views from our panelists. We have got esteemed panel today. We have industries who and who. We have, and you can see the names actually, what people we have. So without further ado, let me actually ask a very important question, and maybe I think the best question to ask to one of the leading oil and gas player, including who has got more than 13,000 plus kilometer pipeline with more projects in plan. So my question to Deepak ji, to you. Yeah. So Deepak ji, my question is, what is your viewpoint on this entire gas and LNG infrastructure? How it is going to contribute to overall India's security and independence plan? So would you please share that, sir?
Thank you, Harsha. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you have to just make the mic a bit closer like this.
Closer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Harsha, thank you. First of all, good morning, everyone. My co-panelists, distinguished audience, and Harsha. Good morning, all of you. Harsha, this is a very, very important topic, and I think all these years we have been talking of gas-based economy. We have been talking of how we go from 6% to 15%. So I think all the discussions that we are doing here are basically around this key agenda and the key mandate and direction from Government of India. So like everybody else, we are all aligned to the Government of India vision of enhancing the 6% energy mix gas share to 15%. Now, coming to your question in particular, I think we all know there are three important pillars of gas-based economy, and that is energy affordability, energy accessibility, and energy availability. So what we're doing is, I think to actually push the envelope and take this gas consumption from the present 6.3 or 4% to 15%, the most important is that we raise the availability levels, we make gas affordable, and most important of all is make it accessible. Now, if you look at the pipeline infrastructure in the country, today we are talking of something like 24,000 kilometers of operational pipeline, and the national gas grid will be like 34,000 kilometers in the coming 3 to 4 years. There are certain missing links in the national gas grid which are now being taken care of. Maybe in the coming months, even those lines will be authorized. Now, why I'm talking about the national gas grid is because it is from here that you're feeding all your customers, all the industries, all the CGD entities, and everyone else. So national gas grid is most important when you talk of accessibility. But when you come upstream, I think you also mentioned about LNG. Now, it is, if you see the entire value chain of the gas, then LNG is most vital. And LNG is being sourced from overseas. Now in GAIL, for example, we already have 4 lease charters which ensure reliability of supply, which ensure security of supplies, which also ensures optimization of shipping costs. So that is one important area that we have done. Number 2, I think now the LNG terminals on the west coast and the east coast of India, close to 44 MMTPA, are already existing. The capacities are getting augmented so that all that LNG that we are getting will get regasified and will be supplied through the pipeline. Besides that, almost all the terminals are having LNG storage tanks. That is extremely important. So you're creating a buffer at all the LNG terminals to store LNG and also have LNG security in times of need. Most importantly, across the country, we have set up some LCNG stations wherein you have small stations spread over the country where you take LNG and store it, and then from there you supply to those areas where pipeline is yet to reach, connectivity is yet to be made. So that is being done. And then we recently commissioned 2 small-scale LNG units in our Vijaypur facility. I think this is going to be a game changer. We have 2 units commissioned which will supply 18 metric tons of LNG per train per day. And this LNG can not only feed the far-flung areas, remote areas, but can also supply the LNG to the LNG ecosystem that we are developing for the long-haul vehicles, trailers and trucks. So I think as far as accessibility is concerned, a whole lot of work is being done, both in gas infrastructure and LNG infrastructure. And this is going to be most crucial to have access to gas and LNG for our country if we have to take gas consumption from 6.4 to 15% by 2030. So this is extremely vital. I am sure my co-panelists have been a part of the system. They will agree with what we are saying. And I think this is almost known to each one of us. But I'm just saying it once again so that people are aware as to how we are developing this. This is my view. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. In fact, the 3 elements that you talked about, affordability, availability, and accessibility, actually set the agenda. With this in mind, my next question is around the part of availability and affordability. And this is to Mr. Chatwal. Sir, what are some of the social and economic benefits that you foresee of this entire gas and LNG infra and how it dovetails? And also in terms of what are some of the policy or regulatory indicative areas of support that you would be looking at?
A very good morning to my co-panelists, invited dignitaries, delegates, and all of you. A very good morning. I represent Indraprasth Gas Limited, which is the largest CNG company of India, and we sell around 25% of the total. As we know, before I come to the question, just a brief.